how do we take advantage of what makes us stand out? Because even those without those resources available have been able to make significant strides.
Yeah, you see, last week I made a statement that any country that has developed did so on the back of two key imperatives: leadership and laws. You can't do without good leadership and good laws. And that is what made Singapore, Singapore. And the same as Malaysia. If you go to South Korea, the same. It's leadership and laws. So they don't joke with their leadership at all. So it's not something, you can't easily become a leader by virtue of the fact that you belong to a political party. It's about the quality of the person. It's about whether the person will be able to deliver. Because when they give you position, they don't go to sleep like we mostly do in our part of the world. So, yes, I believe that moving forward as a nation, we will need a more sustainable economic model. So far, our economic models have not worked. That is why we are where we are. And so if you're going to have economic model that prioritizes exports and import substitution relative to agricultural revolution, for example, industrial transformation, value addition to our natural resources. And I believe that we've had a very fantastic opportunity with Atoforsen's determination to make things work. I want to see Dr. Atoforsen and Dr. Isiama, the governor of Bank of Ghana. He's someone I really have confidence in. I believe with his collaboration with the finance minister, they will be able to do much with our fiscal and monetary policies. Because in the previous administration, what we didn't have, or what we had, was a situation where the finance minister and the governor were churning out misguided monetary and fiscal policies. And unfortunately for the country, the one who was supposed to be leading the orchestra, that is what I've always said, Dr. Bawumia, was also out of tune, singing about digitalization. In fact, that digitalization nonsense have to be reduced. Because if you have not made noise about agriculture, if you have not made noise about manufacturing, why are you making noise about fourth industrial revolution? I've always said that check economic history of China and India. The world started the first industrial revolution in the 18th century. Western Europe and America, that's when they started. The second one was in the 19th century. The 20th century was the third one. China and India joined or had their first industrial revolution in the 20th century. And when they had it, at the time they had it, Western Europe and America were having their third industrial revolution. They could have joined the third industrial revolution, but they didn't do that. They went down to begin the first industrial revolution. And that is what is lacking in this country. As a country, we've never had our first industrial revolution. So why are you making noise about the fourth industrial revolution? I have said that God in his own infinite wisdom put easy things on the surface of the earth for us and put the hard ones beneath the earth. So, agriculture, easy on the surface of the earth. Gold, difficult to get because it is beneath. Why haven't we focused first on the easy ones? Make so much for ourselves so that we can use our own resources to go beneath. Check all our laws and contracts governing our natural resources. Recently, the former Chief Justice, who is now a Council of State member, said we need to review our laws relative to the contracts that we have with our natural resources because they don't favor us. We are the number one producer of gold in Africa. How have you benefited from that? The fact that we are the number one producer of gold in Africa. I said it the last. We are the number 6th in the world, the 6th largest producer of gold in the world. How have you benefited? So for me, if we can look at the model and now focus on what we can easily do. And let me say this, I like the determination and the drive of the Agric Minister, Eric Opoku.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, he's shown that he's in to do business. And if we can also help the private sector, because Agric business shouldn't be, people are saying that we should go back to the state farm era where the state can have farms. Yes, the state can have farms, but I believe that the private sector should be empowered to be able to lead the charge in terms of our agricultural revolution, our industrial transformation, and even value addition to our natural resources. And so that's where the governor and Dr. Atuforsen come in, because they would have to control the fiscal and monetary policy in such a way that we can have a stable currency, if you like, a low interest rate, a low inflation, so that we can, our entrepreneurs, our private sector actors can be competitive in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and even beyond. Because the kind of economic environment we have, where you have debt overhang, high inflation, high interest rate, unstable currency. Of course, if you're a businessman in Ghana, you're taking loan at interest rate of 35 to 40%, and your colleague in Ivory Coast or Benin is taking a loan at interest rate of 5%, 6%, sometimes 3%. How are you going to be competitive? How are you going to compete with them? So, yes, much as we would want the government to work on these things, we also expect the private sector to position itself to take advantage of what this government is doing. And so far, let me be honest with you, I've said that when the president goofs, I will come out to say it. So far, the president has done what, except one area I think he has not been loud on, and that is the area of galamsey. I've not heard him say the things.
I think over the weekend, there's even a story about an NDC official that blocked, a task force had gone around. Yes, I think either the Western or Central region, and they had blocked them when they were moving around, and that has also been an issue of concern. Yeah,
so if galamsey poses existential threats, then it is important that any opportunity the president gets, he must make noise about it, because it's a very serious problem that confronts us. And so far, the president has done so well, let me be honest. I believe that still he can do more in respect of the galamsey issue.
I mean, Prof, Mr. Jantua touched on the role of citizens to an extent, some of the things that we do that are quite problematic. And the president does make the point that, I mean, this is a defining moment, but policies alone, no matter how well couched, will not change our reality. He says young Ghanaians must step up, seize these opportunities, and contribute to building a self-sufficient nation. Ghana's economic future is in your hands. I mean, what role must citizens play in the next few years?
Aka, citizenship is really, really important in every country that you go. I live in U.S. for 20 years. And anytime you will see the flag of America everywhere, it's USA. USA. It is not about your political party, but a country that gives you an identity. Now, what do you give back to a country that gives an identity? You have to respect the law and then show patriotism to the national flag, to the anthem, and everything. I've never seen a people that hates their country like Ghanaians. Why do I say so? Go to even a hotel, you will see American flag, you will see the British flag, and Ghana flag is not there. You are a Ghanaian having a hotel on the soil of Ghana, and then you don't have your own flag. Why? Are we not proud of who we are? But I can tell you that Ghanaians abroad are more proud of Ghana than even those here. We celebrate, I was Ghana Association president in Cincinnati, Ohio, for many years. We celebrate 6 March. We bring churches together. We play games. We do some health checks. We do all these things because we love the country of our birth. But you come home, and then the very citizens you left, they don't seem to love the country. But without Ghana, you are nobody. Without Ghana, what is the meaning of your political party? And I keep telling them many times I will be giving 6 March speech that who cares whether you are a Ghana or a Northerner or Ashanti or anywhere? We are Ghanaians. And that patriotism is not there. Everybody is saying, as for me and my family, we were born into MPP. As for me and my family, we were born into NDC. So you won't change your mind and align with a policy that will help your pocket and your family. We are stuck to political parties to understand that we are worshiping political parties and we don't care about the nation that gives us identity, and that worries me. The other thing that I expect from the youth is that some people are so much embedded in corruption that it is stuck. Their hands are stuck, sticky on the wall, and those hands need to be cut. I am saying this with all seriousness. In 2023, National Service Scheme paid 900 million Ghana cedis allowance to 140,000 personnel. Now, in February 2025, after the head count, they paid allowance to only 98,000 National Service personnel. So 40,000 people were ghost names. Now, these are not ghosts. They are calculated names, corrupt people who calculate names just to take money from the poor person. As we speak this morning, somebody cannot even get simple Gary to eat. We have the money there. We have gold, we have bauxite, we have manganese, we have everything. Go to England and see what they have. Sweet potato and what? Wheat. And yet we go to them and borrow. Now, let me come to the Ministry of Education. The outgone minister said that we were told that we had 5.1 million students who benefited from free senior high school, right? Now a new, yes, 5.1 million. A new government comes and then the figure drops to what, 3.4 million. That means we have 1.7 million extra who budgets were made for food allocation and everything, and nobody is asking questions. Can't you read in between the lines? So what do you expect the youth to do? The youth is hardworking, and we should also hammer on hard work. Those who work hard in this country, they are not successful. It is those who cut corners. So you go to the ministries, they will come to the minister, watch this person. Please watch this person. I know they have been telling you, be careful about this person. Now, those who cut corners and gossip about the other people do well in the country, but the youth that work hard, the masons, the carpenters, the market women, they rather suffer and they don't get anything. So your father stole from the public purse. My father did not, and I'm poor, and you blame me for being poor. Go to even WAEC. Students are cutting corners. Government had to spend $4 million to buy past questions. You spend public money to buy past questions for students. Seriously? And why wouldn't people just go and cut corners and find a pot to pass? But then somebody also learns how to get 9 1s or 9 A's. And then somebody get 35, and they said there is this word protocol. So somebody brings protocol 35, and that person sits with another person who learned hard to get 9 1s. That is not fair. What about somebody who don't have a chief, a big king, or a politician who will lead them to protocol? So we are building a system that is skewed in favor of the rich, the political class, and then some chiefs and some pastors. The rest are just hanging in there. And we should be able to make sure that this stops. The youth are ready to work. If you go to Rwanda, 1994, within 100 days, over 100,000 people were killed. Now you go there, go even to the forest games, wildlife. You can't touch any animal there. How come that we go to Galamsey and we have police force, we have military, and we can't stop it? We're joking. We have to declare that state of emergency that, look, this is our existence that we are threatening. Without water, how do you survive? You are looking for gold and money. If you have all the money in this world and you can't have water to drink, then what do? Because research has shown that within 11 days, if you don't drink water, you die. Fasting, maybe you can do 30 days. And sleep is about 15 or so days. But water, because 2/3 of our body is water. And why are we destroying the source of water? Even children being born now, they are coming with defects. One eye is missing, kidney problem. Children, 2-3 years are going on dialysis. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And when politicians speak, the average person, the youth sitting down there, they are tired. That is why when NDC won, you saw them going to places, vandalizing things and picking up things. Because they have seen the robbery, the naked robbery. Even simple food to schools. You have some beggars and some matrons stealing those foods. Why? That is why I began by saying that we seem to hate ourselves and our country. Let me give you an example. There was this headmaster that I knew. He taught for almost 30 years. He was on Cap 30 like my father. My father was a head teacher. Now, this man was going on retirement. And then he started looking for an accommodation. He got to this woman, and the woman said, are you not the headmaster of this senior high school? And he said, yes. He said, and you don't have a house? I'm very disappointed in you, because in this town, even armed robbers have houses. Do you see that the nation that we built? Even armed robbers have houses. The man stood there quietly. He called me. He said, the woman, Wakamasem. She's spoken to me in parables. So he had about 2 years to retire. And then they were cutting blocks to build a new library. Guess what? He started, taking the blocks from the library to his private land that he had. And within the 2 years, he was able to build. And guess what? When he finished the building, who was the first person to come there? That woman. He said, now you are acting like a headmaster.
He became an armed robber.
You see?
Yes.
So we have created a situation where identities are only given to people who have cars and houses. Oh, that man, that is his house. That man, that is his car. So if I don't have a house or a car, I'm not respected in society. And that is why somebody will kill their mother for Toyota Camry. You see a society that we built, we need to dedicate ourselves. We need to orient ourselves and have values. What is our values as a nation? Is it telling the truth? We used to have a tradition where during the 8th day of a child, naming ceremony, we will put a drop of water on your lips and say that if you see water, this is water. And then we'll give you another drop of wine or any alcohol that this is alcohol. So speak the truth. If you see alcohol, say alcohol. If you see water, say water. The onus of that culture was to tell us to speak the truth. But are we speaking the truth now? So what are our values now? What values do we discard and what values do we replace? It is good to go for abuachiri, those of you from the, central region. But what is the value that the youth are learning from abuachiri? You go get the deer and then you bring the deer. What do you do next? What is the value that you have to teach the youth? I have seen kings who sit in palanquins, and those who are carrying them are even just walking barefooted. They don't have anything that they wear. They carry them. Are we just showing? Are we a nation of showism at, parties, at funerals that we are just coming to show off? Or we want to show the youth some values that they can pick from? Look at the values that the Ashanti Regional Minister, that young guy, did yesterday. He went to clean the gutters. Gutters have pieces of materials, toilets, and everything stinky. When he was cleaning, and he said, now in Kumasi, if you litter, you pay for it. Those are the kind of leadership we are looking for. A young guy. And when he was cleaning, even some market women there, those by the roadside with their stores, they were watching him. He doesn't come from that area. He doesn't stay there. But he was cleaning the gutters to model the way, and others were watching. That is the nationalism that we see in Rwanda now, that every month, every last Saturday, they do labor, national labor. Everybody goes to clean their gutters and keep the environment clean. And that is why Kigali is the cleanest city now in Africa.
Oh, yes. I think that is the mindset. I will tell you a story about Rwanda when I went. I entered into a forex bureau, they spend Rwand franc, then change my money, dollar into franc. Then there were some coins given to me. So when I step out, I said, oh, normally when I travel, I bring these coins back home as souvenirs, but it's too much now. Private security man was standing by. I stretched my hand to give him the money. He initially thought it was a handshake. When he saw the money, he retreated. Then my guy told me that it's not allowed. Then I said, Abam, it's a gift. No, it's not. There are cameras around. This is a private security. You're like your people at the gate here, not state security. I'm sure if I had done that to state security, they would have bundled me up.
Yeah.
You see? You are about to sell the delegation. What am I saying? I'm saying that it is the way you tune the minds of the people in the country. We are so free in this country. So free. To the extent that you are even talking about killing an animal in Rwanda. They say if you cut down a tree in Rwanda, you will sleep in your room that day. So clearly, it has to do with orientation, and reorientation. We are not different from the people there. It is just that when we went to look at how to come back and implement Okada, you could see that every Okada person there was on helmet. There's a vest to identify him as an Okada person. Then the person he picked also has a helmet. Then when they got to the traffic lights, they all stop. They all stop. They all stop. No. And when they get motorists, when they get to zebra crossing, they stop for the person to pass. And I'm saying that we can only achieve much depending on the kind of people we are. As a country, I am beginning to think that much of the blame should be put on the people more than the leaders. But I also know that leaders are supposed to lead the way. And I am of the view that if we get leadership to as it were, construct the way for us. But see, in Ghana too, we have the opposition. Anytime that you want to implement a policy, then the opposition will capitalize on it, be on the side of the people, against you, the government, and you end up stopping what you are going to do. But we have a long way. But I think that as a nation, we have to come together and agree on one thing. I am disappointed that the MPP refused to go to the summit.
Yeah.
But the crux of the matter has to do with Afenyo Markin. He needs the MPP would wake up one day and realize that this guy is leading them to the ditch. Look at what he did when they were asked to go for orientation. He led his people to boycott it. These are not good signs of a nation wanting to come together. I think that the MPP leadership, that's the National Council, should have an introspection and look at what their party is doing, whether they want to continue doing that.
I mean, about the citizen problem, I mean, where do we go from there?
Yeah, if you look at the GTP, the last pillar of the GTP, you know, we have 6 pillars. The last one has to do with the behavioral and mindset change. We believe that yes, it takes leadership to lead, but you can only lead when those who are following properly. So we looked at the issue of respect for law and order. It is very important. One particular issue that we need to work on.
Okay.
Because in this country, people don't respect our laws. I mean, there's complete breakdown of respect for law and order. Then you also look at the issue of patriotism. Yes, Mr. Jantua said something. I think today people care more about their political party than the country. That spirit of patriotism is no more. When people wake up, they are thinking of how to make their political parties better and not how to make the country better. And it's a very serious problem we are dealing with. Then attitude to work. This thing that we say that Abanye Juma Yensia Uchu Nazi. In Fantifosi, Abanye Juma Wonsia Uchu Nazi. People think that, yes, it is government's work, not my work. So if it is their own work, they will give it much attention. They will do it well. But if it's about government work, then I can go to work anytime and close anytime. And that is one of the issues we experience. Then enforcement of discipline. That is what has made Rwanda.
Yeah.
When you set laws and people break the laws, you discipline them. You don't allow a politician to follow the person to come and beg, or a chief in the village to follow the person to come and beg. You discipline the person according to what the law says. We deal with that in our GTP. And I want to urge the government to consider the GTP, especially this particular issue. And also the issue of arrogance of power.
Okay.
And this has to do with the leaders. As I said, whatever we do, it rises and falls with leadership. The president, yes, the youth in this country have a role to play. I've said that beyond elections, the youth don't need hope. They need jobs.
Okay.
That is what we would have to give to the youth of this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Jantua, there are those who say that there is a disconnect between the government and the citizens, and they blame it on the government directly, that they have simply failed to rally the people. People don't have confidence in their government. And so in the end, it's a state of lawlessness. Everyone more or less like in the jungle trying to survive. And that is how come people are doing some of the things that we consider to be lawless.
Do we respect government? When we put a government in place, do we respect them? They say when you go into a country and you want to learn or know the character of the people, see how they drive. That will tell you the kind of people you have there. I have seen foreigners in this country jump traffic lights. They will not do it in their own country.
Yeah.
They will not do it in their own country. So why? What is the challenge? Somebody can go and what? Dam a river and cobra. Damn it. Just because they won't go. And we sit and do nothing about it. I have said, and I'll continue to say, we've got to a stage where galamsey is concerned. Shoot to kill. Let's kill a few people and you see what would happen. Because it looks as if, I'm not sure whether I can say in Africa, but in Ghana, corporal punishment is what we understand. We don't understand court. There and there, whip them. You do something wrong, whip you there. You see, people will fall into line. Because you cannot understand. Look at our laws. We have all the beautiful laws in this country. Why can't we apply? What is going wrong?
Okay.
If you have your own police people who are not abiding by the laws that they are supposed to protect, where are we going? That is why I expect President Mahama to be brutal in some of these things.
Yeah.
Brutal in some of these things. Because it looks as if the Ghanaian, we want it hard. And we need to go hard to get things in place, to get things in shape.
Okay.
Look, Agable, if you make $1 million today, do you know when you will die? Do you know when you will die? COVID was a typical example of showing us how even billionaires died and their money couldn't save them.
Yeah.
So why is the materialism taking over? What is it that we want to prove? That I'm better than you because I'm sitting in a better car than you? What is up here is what is important, not the car you drive. Because the beautiful things that you're looking for have not even yet been done. I bought this phone how many years? 5 years ago. Within 5 years, do you know the type of phones that have come that are better than this one? So what is the challenge?
Yeah.
We have to be able to think country first. All the foreigners who come here to do our gold and to do our oil and to do all that, do you think they are doing it for themselves? No. They are doing it to make their country better.
Okay.
Because when their country is better, they are also better. Can we compare ourselves to Norway? The taxes in Norway are high, but the kind of social services that are provided the people, they are comfortable. Why can't we do it here?
Okay.
And I agree with you. It is the people more than the government. If the people can't change their mindset, then government, whatever they do, will not succeed. And for me, that is where it starts from. It starts from the classroom.